There are 1.6 million reasons why we should repeal Obamacare.
That is Congressman Jeb Hensarling of Texas. Luckily, they won't be counting all the reasons before they repeal the law today.
They are talking quite a bit, though, before they get to it, but they're talking so nicely, at least so far. Top Line begins right now.
Hello and welcome to ABC's Top Line. I'm Rick Klein.
And I'm Jonathan Karl.
Every day at noon Eastern, we're right here bringing you the latest in politics. It's twitter.com/Rick Klein, twitter.com/John Karl for our birthday boy, John Karl. John, kick us off.
That's right. This is Repeal Day. This is the moment the Tea Party has been waiting for. Today is the day that the House of Representatives will vote on repealing the health care law. Rick, 2 points I want to make about this. That I imagine we may hear the Republicans make from time to time. One, it will pass. That's part one of point one. It will pass by a greater majority than the health care bill itself passed, and it will be a more bipartisan vote than the health care vote.
And to top all that off, it won't mean anything at all because it dies in the Senate, and then and the president would veto it anyway. But then the next steps will start. But this is an important symbolic step at the very least for Republicans to say they delivered.
I mean, this shows you how far this Congress has moved.
Very quickly. Next up today, it is So Joe. Talking about how far Congress has moved, Joe Lieberman, the veteran senator from Connecticut, is announcing his retirement today. He is leaving the Senate. You can just track the history of Joe Lieberman is just the history of Democratic politics over the last 30 years. He came into office as this liberal firebrand, I mean, a progressive reformer, and he leaves. The only thing the progressives are regretting right now is they didn't take him out.
Right.
They didn't actually defeat him. They were looking forward to the opportunity in 2012. He's not going to give him that chance. He's getting out of the zone.
What I really look forward to, though, today is all the statements we're going to see praising Joe Lieberman's career. I'm looking forward to the, to the Harry Reid statement. And his long career. He was their nominee for vice president. He was a candidate for president. He served the Democratic cause so well.
And I'm looking forward to the next 2 years. I'm looking forward to the next 2 years of Joe Lieberman. He's not going there
independent. Next up, who's the boss? So President Hu of China is in town. There he is arriving. Eagle-eyed colleague of ours noticed that Governor Huntsman was on the tarmac to greet him, potential 2012 candidate as well. This is, of course, a high-stakes state dinner. Unlike the last visit for China, there will be a state dinner. This is a state visit. But look at the way he has been greeted by congressional leaders. Harry Reid has referred to him as a dictator. John Boehner has decided not to go to the dinner. And Chuck Schumer said China has got its boot on the throat of the American economy.
Yeah, and this is such a complicated relationship. Obama has to get this one right. The state dinner, they were literally rolling out the red carpet for him in his arrival in Washington. But I think we're going to see a big split between what's done publicly and what's done privately during this meeting. And I think we'll learn a lot of those details as the days go forward. And finally today, brotherly love. Welcome to office to Governor Robert Bentley, a Republican from Alabama, a retired dermatologist, as a matter of fact. Take a look at what he said over MLK weekend. He said, quote, "Anybody here today who has not accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior, I'm telling you, you're not my brother and you're not my sister, and I want to be your brother." We don't often see proselytizing from governors. This is maybe a little bit of a welcome to office moment.
No, and is Cullen over there? We got to get the governor on Top Line.
That's right. Let's book it. You're welcome on anytime, yes. Governor. Indeed.
I've got a feeling he'll be saying a lot of things that'll be interesting.
There we go. We begin today's program up on Capitol Hill. Congressman Dave Schweikert, a freshman Republican from Arizona, one of I think 3 freshman Republicans from the state of Arizona that's been in the news so much. And thank you for being here. And I want to start with the health care repeal vote. There's been a lot of talk recently about trying to do too much too quickly. And I wonder what this accomplishes today. Do you feel like it's an important statement to go out there and repeal health care when you know it's not going to go anywhere?
Well, but it is the beginning. And first off, I hear there's a rumor you all have a birthday cake hanging around that shop.
We'll get some to you on the hill.
If you could package up some and send it down here.
You got it.
But the fact of the matter is, it's something we have to do. First, my constituents expect me to do it. But number 2, it also starts the discussion. It also puts everyone, puts a marker down saying, here's where we are as the House. Now next week we begin the process. Well, we'll have 3 committees, I believe, next week at START that are going to each be actually holding hearings, taking testimony, having the discussions of what we can fix and what will work for the American people.
So what's your understanding of what you can do to take apart this bill bit by defunding it? What can you initially go after? What are the initial targets?
What you do is you first take a step sideways and say, all right, here's what we're trying to accomplish. The methodology it's designed in this bill right now takes away options, actually takes away choice. If you love freedom, but if you also need time and control of your life, this isn't the way you do it. In my state of Arizona, we've worked on things of how do you put together a risk pool to take care of people like myself that I have severe asthma. I have a pre-existing condition. You want to take care of things like that and portability. Go after what actually will work for the American people, not this sort of huge top-down approach that's going to actually take away a lot of your choices and freedoms.
Congressman, you mentioned your own health care, and a number of your freshman colleagues, including Congressman Gosar, has said that he feels so strongly that government-run health care is the wrong way to go that he is saying, I don't want to be part of the congressional system. What's your take on that? Do you think, are you accepting government health care?
Yeah, for someone like myself, I'm actually a big fan of the HSA models, high deductibles, and using tax-benefited savings accounts to do your purchases. So I'm going to do something of that nature where it's a huge deductible, because if you preach that you like HSAs, health savings accounts, you probably should use one.
But you are accepting the federal health care system, right?
But understand, it's not the first dollar type coverage. I'm going sort of the other direction.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, obviously there's a lot of talk about civility. I guess very quickly, who are you going to sit next to at the State of the Union address? That seems to be the question of the week.
Well, as you know, there's no assigned seating in the State of the Union address. But this is one of those moments where I fear we often get caught up in this game of symbolism. In many ways, I hope the American people judge this Congress on what we actually accomplish, what we actually do, instead of sort of this little game of look at our symbols, not actually our actions. I want you to judge us on our actions.
But your opponent in the campaign has said that there came a point during the campaign that he was advised by his staff to stop holding town hall meetings because of concerns about safety. Is your sense that it really got that bad out there?
I saw a different world, and I'd also been the county treasurer. So picture this: I was the tax collector as well as the banker and investment officer for a very large county. And the thing I learned is when you have folks who are upset, talk to them. They may not agree with you, but darn it, they're going to respect you for reaching out and being willing to listen. And much of the frustration I saw happen in Arizona with my Democrat opponent is he shut down. He stopped communicating, which actually may have benefited me. But our obligation is actually to listen.
Is there something, I mean, you've served in Arizona for a long time. Is there something particular about Arizona that concerns you, that may be a particular hotbed for politics, for discourse running over?
No, and actually, I mean, we've had a horrible tragedy in our state, and I really appreciate you traveling and spending time in Arizona. And it had nothing to do with the fact it was 78 degrees.
Of course not.
Look, we have a state that's made up of people from all over the country. It's a wonderful place. And I saw after the tragedy where I was at a candlelight vigil, and standing next to me were the leaders of the state Democrat Party. And we sort of came together in our mourning. I will tell you, the people of Arizona are absolutely wonderful. We had something horrible happen to us, and I think it's broken a lot of our hearts.
No doubt about that. Hey, just one last question, entirely different subject. I believe you've taken a pretty firm position against voting in favor of raising the debt ceiling. And I'm just wondering, how firm is that position? Are you absolutely not going to vote in favor of raising the debt ceiling?
I will not vote for the debt ceiling unless we actually can show some systemic change, some real substantial spending cuts. Because here's my position. Yes, horrible things happen if we don't raise the debt ceiling. Horrible things happen if we do raise it without the changing of the spending habits here. We're being asked to pay off the credit card for the crazy Democrat spending from the last couple of years. If I'm going to be asked to pay off their spending, I expect there to be some fiscal sanity coming in the future.
Okay, so it sounds like there's a possibility then if you see some concessions in the next couple of weeks.
And it's really important for those, for all of us, understand this is more than just one vote. There's going to be a continuing resolution. There's going to be some budget agreements. There's other things moving that may help us assemble the spending discipline that we need to put together.
All right, Congressman Dave Schweikert of Arizona, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
And happy birthday.
Thank you very much.